Mysteries of Hades, a journey into the underworld. Hades is one of the most enigmatic deities in the ancient Greek pantheon. He is known as the god of the underworld and the dead. Unlike his brothers Zeus and Poseidon, as well as other Olympians, Hades rarely appears in myths as an active participant in events. His activities are concentrated in the afterlife. However, his influence and significance in the Greeks' understanding of the concepts of life, death, and the afterlife cannot be overstated. Origin and family. Hades was the son of the Titans Cronus and Rhea. He was swallowed by his father Cronus immediately after birth, like his other siblings. This was done out of fear of losing power, as there was a prophecy that one of his children would overthrow him. However, Zeus, the youngest brother of Hades, was saved and later managed to free his brothers and sisters, including Hades, starting a war against his father and the other Titans. When the Titans were defeated, the world was divided among the three brothers. Zeus became the supreme god of the sky and dweller of Olympus. Poseidon gained dominion over the seas, and Hades became the lord of the underworld. This division of power reflected not only the physical distribution of the world, but also the philosophical understanding of the ancient Greeks about the necessary balance and interaction between life, water, and death. The realm of Hades. The realm of Hades, often simply called Hades, represented a dark and mysterious world distinct from the realm of the living. In this afterlife, the souls of the deceased dwelled for eternity, and the very nature of the underworld symbolized the inexorability and permanence of death. The entrance to Hades passed through rivers such as Styx, the most famous of all, symbolizing the boundary between the world of the living and the world of the dead. It was believed that the gods swore unbreakable oaths while standing on the banks of Styx, and any violation of such oaths entailed serious consequences. Other rivers included Acheron, the river of sorrow and mourning, Lethe, the river of forgetfulness where souls drank to forget their earthly existence, Phlegethon, the fiery river of passions, and Cocytus, the river of lamentation. At the entrance to the realm was Charon, the ferryman who, for a small fee in the form of a coin placed in the mouth of the deceased, helped souls cross the Acheron River. This image became part of many cultural traditions associated with funerals. Cerberus, the three-headed dog, ensured that no mortals left the realm of the dead. This creature became a symbol of insurmountable guardianship and vigilance. Hades consisted of several regions: the Asphodel Fields, where most souls resided, Elysium, where righteous and heroic souls dwelled, and Tartarus, a grim place of punishment for sinners and enemies of the gods. This structural division emphasized the moral and ethical system of the ancient Greeks, where the afterlife fate of a soul depended on its actions during life, personality, and character. Unlike many other Olympian gods, Hades was rarely depicted as capricious or impulsive. Instead, he was considered a calm and steadfast deity who did not interfere in mortal affairs unless it pertained to his direct role as the Lord of the Dead. His character was primarily focused on justice and inevitability. It is worth noting that Hades was not an equivalent of Satan or a devilish figure. He did not attempt to tempt souls or cause them harm. His role was to ensure order and maintain the balance of the natural cycle of life and death. This distinguished him from the concept of evil deities in other mythologies, the cult of Hades, and worship. Worship of Hades was rare, and his cult was shrouded in secrecy, explained by the fear of the god of death. People tried to avoid mentioning his name, using more favorable terms such as Pluton, meaning the wealthy one, as it was believed that the underworld held all precious metals and resources. Sacrifices made to Hades were typically dark animals, reflecting the dark nature of his realm. Unlike other gods, Hades had virtually no major cultic centers or temples, and his traces in archaeological finds are rare. Most famous myths and legends involving Hades. The abduction of Persephone. This myth explains the changing of the seasons. Hades, having fallen in love with Persephone, daughter of Demeter, abducted her and made her his queen. In her grief, Demeter caused the crops on earth to fail, leading to famine. Finally, it was decided that Persephone would spend a third of the year with Hades and the rest with her mother, symbolizing winter and spring respectively. Heracles and Cerberus. One of Heracles' labors was to bring Cerberus from the underworld. A journey to Hades was considered an incredibly risky endeavor for a mortal, underscoring Heracles' bravery and strength. Orpheus and Eurydice. Orpheus journeyed to Hades to retrieve his beloved, impressing Hades and Persephone with his music. They agreed to release Eurydice on the condition that Orpheus would not look back until they left the realm of the dead. However, at the border between worlds, he broke his promise, leading to their eternal separation. Hades in art and literature. Depictions of Hades in ancient art often showed him as a mature, bearded man, sometimes with symbols of power such as a scepter or cornucopia. These depictions reflect his nature as a god associated with wealth, both material and spiritual. In literature, Hades often serves as the backdrop for other myths and stories, reflecting ideas about the afterlife and the moral consequences of human actions. Writers focused on his role as a just judge and keeper of the dead, creating complex portrayals of life after death. Conclusion: Hades remains a complex and enigmatic figure in Greek mythology. His realm symbolizes a place both feared and revered. Being part of the Hellenic worldview, the myths about Hades help explain how the ancient Greeks viewed life and death, ethical questions, and justice. Although he is less well known than many other Olympian gods, his influence and significance are undeniable. If you enjoyed this video and want more content about mythology and history, please subscribe to our channel. We would love to hear your opinions and see your comments. Don't forget to turn on notifications so you don't miss new videos and continue exploring the fascinating world of mythology with us.